Hi, I'm Melissa, and this is The Book Break. And today we're going to talk to a really awesome author named Julianne Donaldson, who just had a new book come out called Come Sweet Day. Let's bring her in.
Hi, Melissa.
Hello. So, Julianne, I know that you write Regency romance, but your new book that just came out, Come Sweet Day, is different from your other books that you've done. I think that this concept with essays and poems is fantastic for people that have gone through difficult things. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, thanks. I was writing Regency romances, and then I went through a series of really hard things. I had a divorce and a lot of mental illness in my family, and then I got cancer. It was just kind of like one thing after another. And during those years that I was going through these really hard things, I found that I couldn't really sit down and write up a story about two people falling in love. Like, that just was so far beyond what my day-to-day life was. But I could write little thoughts and poems and little essays about how I was finding hope in dark times and how I was finding strength to overcome hard things. And that really helped me to just feel like I had direction and feel like I was actually making progress still as a person and also as a writer. So I love this collection. I think it's full of little gems of truths that I've learned.
Yeah, I love it too. I think one of the things I really loved about it is that it is something that you can sit down and you could read it cover to cover, but if you're having a hard day, you can just pick up a poem or an essay and feel inspired by it.
Yeah, that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be not a book that you just read once and then you're done with, like a novel, but something that you could have around and you could just, like, I need a little lift me up. I need to feel heard. I need to feel seen. I need to feel like there's some hope for my future. And the nice thing too about it is I think my publisher did a great job with the inside graphics. It's a beautiful book with lots of beautiful photos and graphics in there that just make you feel like, oh, here's something beautiful that I can turn to for a moment.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was something I noticed too when I was going through it, is that even if you didn't read the poems and essays, there's beautiful pictures in there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how they put it all together.
Yeah. And I'd love to hear from you, maybe one of your favorite essays or poems that you have in there. If you have a favorite or one of your favorites, I'm sure they're all partly your favorite.
I do have a favorite. I'm trying to think about my favorite one, but I think the one that I like the most comes from this. I was imagining if hope was a woman. If you take the idea of hope being not just an idea in the background, but an actual person who's coming to you. And I had this image of this lonely cottage on a stormy night on some windswept cliff in Scotland, and the fire's burned out, and the rooms are shut up, and it's just cold. And that's kind of how life was feeling for me for a while. And then hope comes, and hope comes as a woman who is breathing life into this cottage. Okay, let me grab my book.
That's okay.
My book right here. Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, and I can show one of my favorites too. So I think that one of my favorites in here that you have, and I've grabbed my copy. Let's see, show you this. So this is the one on courage, and there we go. And I really love this one. For those of you that can't see it very well, I'll just read it to you. Courage is doing what you don't want to do with such kindness and such a bright smile that nobody would guess it was hard. And I loved that, because I think, sometimes, especially if we're struggling with depression or having a hard day, we've got to keep moving forward. But, as a mom, I think about that with my children, and there are times where I am just having a bad day, but they're kids and they need me. And so I put on a smile and I help them. And it's okay for me to tell them that I'm having a hard day, but it's not okay for me to take it out on them. And
Right.
so having that courage to continue to move forward and do it with a smile and with love in my heart, I think that's huge. And so many of us, when we struggle, think that, I don't want to be fake, but it's not being fake to move forward and to be kind to people. Like I tell my kids all the time, what's our number one rule? And our number one rule is be kind. No matter how we're feeling, we need to be kind. So that's one of my favorites.
Thank you. Yeah. And you're so true. And I mean, you're so right about that. And I found that too. It's like, okay, no matter how much I'm struggling, like the world goes on and people are depending on me. And I can say, I need this time for myself to acknowledge that I'm struggling, but then I have to get back to life. And I found that like taking that courage and, carrying on with kindness and with a smile was what was really getting me through those hard days. It's like, okay, nothing about this day got easier, but I made it, and I made it without like a lot of regrets about like how I was acting towards my kids or towards other people.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Thanks. Okay, so here's the one that I was going to share about hope. Hope coming as a woman. Hope comes cautiously in darkness, in winter, in want. She hushes the baying dog of old fears and tiptoes through silent rooms of loneliness. She opens doors that grief had sealed shut. Hope breathes on the cold embers of tomorrow until a new fire blazes. She sets a table laden with joy and bids the starved soul to come and feast, where she plays the music the heart most wants to hear. To the steadfast who wait, quietly, tenderly, courageously, hope comes.
I love that.
Thank you.
That. And I think hope is one of those things that whatever you're going through, it's so important to not let go of. It's so important.
Absolutely. And I have found that there is a buoyancy to hope. And it's something that I have to cultivate like every day. It's not something that comes naturally to me. I suffer from depression, and it's not like I'm not like a natural optimist, but I can cultivate the buoyancy of hope, where even when things go bad, I'm still reaching for, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out, and tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, I love that. And I can relate to that too, because I'm naturally an optimistic person and naturally upbeat, but I struggle with depression from time to time as well. And it is something that you go through. And I think all of us, whether you struggle with depression or not, we all go through really tough things at one point or another in our life. And so I love that one so much. I love your whole book. Really, people, you got to get this book.
Thank you. And it's true. None of us get through life unscathed. Yeah. And just some trials are more obvious to other people than others, but we all suffer, and we all need hope.
Yeah, definitely. Well, jumping topics just a little bit, I wanted to just briefly mention you're a Regency romance author, and you've got some awesome novels out there. And something that I just learned about is you are doing a retreat this year in 2021.
I am, and I can't think of a better year to do something exciting and big. I mean, after a year of the pandemic. So the Regency retreat is like spending a day in a Jane Austen book. We have tea and carriage rides. We have a ball. We're going to have duels this year. Everyone comes dressed up, and it's just a day and an evening of true elegance and being able to escape from the modern world.
I love it. That looks super fun. So now I've just got to figure out, where do I go to get a Regency era dress?
Yes, and we have tips for that too. So if you follow us, we'll show you all all the good places to go do your shopping or to raid your closet.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, and we've flashed some banners on here that show where people can find you on social media and your website. And if you all look up Julianne Donaldson, I'd say maybe go to Amazon. That's a great one. You can always find people there. And check out your Regency romance novels too.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And thank you all for joining us on the book break. We'll see you next time.